Sequel New York has welcomed two exciting new stallions this year. Laoban's Keep Me in Mind, a Grade 2 winning 2-year-old, has the looks to keep alive the legacy of his late sire, while Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf champion Fire at Will brings an exciting turf pedigree to the state.
For the 2023 breeding season, Sequel New York has two exciting new stallions. Keep Me in Mind being one of them, as well as Fire at Will, who we got even more recently. Keep Me in Mind, a Grade 2 winner at 2 years old. Keep Me in Mind had a great 2-year-old campaign. He was really the first of the Laobans to make national notoriety, along with, of course, Simply Ravishing. His second start was in Grade 1 company, where he unfortunately met Essential Quality, who he would run second to. His next race would be a month later in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and for him to race the way he did, running third to Essential Quality and Hot Rod Charlie, but beating horses like Rumbauer, who would later win the Preakness, and horses like Jackie's Warrior, who are Eclipse champions. It was really a significant accomplishment for the whole team, both the ownership as well as the stallion side. Keep Me in Mind was still in phenomenal shape, and the decision was made to enter him into the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes at Churchill, which was a Grade 2 that he would ultimately win to break his maiden. One of the major similarities between Keep Me in Mind and Laoban were the fact that they both broke their maidens in Grade 2 company. Keep Me in Mind just happened to do it a little bit sooner than Laoban did. He's a more elegant, refined version of Laoban that shares a lot of his best traits. He's got the big hip, but he's also a leggy, stretchy horse that you would expect from the Uncle Mo line. You know, anytime you bring a stallion into your farm, you want to look at, one, the race record, two, the physical, as well as the pedigree. Fire at Will was trained by Mike Maker, who is an absolute legend with turf horses. In speaking to Mike Maker, he shared with us that Fire at Will was actually the fastest 2-year-old he's ever trained on the turf, which just speaks a lot to the precociousness and the speed that Fire at Will had. Fire at Will broke his maiden on the dirt at Saratoga in a stake race before transitioning over to the grass, where he would ultimately become the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf champion. As a stallion farm, it's always exciting to bring in successful 2-year-old racehorses, as they tend to produce early success in their offspring, which is always wonderful both for the owners, the breeders, as well as the sellers like us here in Florida. So Fire at Will is standing at Sequel New York in partnership with Three Diamonds Farm, which is owned and managed by Kirk and Deborah Wyckoff. They're tremendous supporters of the New York bred program, and it just seemed like the perfect fit for this Breeders' Cup champion to come to Sequel New York to really put it all together and see what we can create together. One of the things that we find to be extremely important is the physical. Fire at Will does not look like a typical Danzig line type of horse. Instead, he's a very elegant, leggy, stretchy, streamlined horse that had great movement on the track and really displayed efficiency when he ran. Three Diamonds Farm has made lots of friends in the horse racing industry, and they're really all coming together to support Fire at Will to make him a tremendous stallion that we believe he can be. He's getting support from consigners as well as commercial breeders. One of the most exciting aspects of Keep Me in Mind at Sequel New York is the ownership and their participation in making this stallion great. It's the same owners that brought us Laoban. With the success of Laoban, the ownership group had a lot of confidence and decided to invest even more heavily into the success of Keep Me in Mind.